Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me here today. If you found yourself here, there may be a message for your healing journey, soul's evolution, transformation, and or simply information. Today I would like to talk a little bit about some of the words we throw around in life and what they mean. Everybody has them, whether it's dealing with grief, shame, fear, sorrow, hurt, jealousy, pain and trauma. Somewhere along the line, we've experienced that on different levels. So whether you've had extensive abusive trauma that's caused you a lot of different things, they can show up in your body as illness, stomach pains, maybe nausea, trouble sleeping, TMJ in your jaw, muscle tightness. We hold them in different places that are special. Sometimes in your hips or your shoulders, there's aches and pains. They can lodge anywhere, or it can. And anger can be anywhere. It can be expressed through your voice. Sometimes kids, you see them. I saw a few kids at Target just enraged on the floor, and then 2 seconds later, they're fine. Wouldn't that be great if adults could just have a throwdown at work or at Target too? It's like we have to learn how to control it. But how long do you control it? And where does it go? And what do we do with it? How long does it stay in your body? Can't we just verbally express? Not always. Not sure what it is. If you don't have any idea of how to express it, then how are you supposed to? Journal it, burn it. These are things we learn along the way. Talk about it with a therapist. But how long does that take? I know people have been in therapy for 20 years and still have the same grief, pain, sorrow, shame. And I didn't know how to grieve. It was profoundly painful losing significant people in my life, and then it was just not talked about. Or if you did, you were maybe told maybe we should just move on because you can't change the past. Well, that lodges in your body somewhere, right? So, along the way you hear people punch a pillow. Okay, for how long? Does it ever get out of your body? That might work for some people. I've seen people punch walls. I've seen a lot of different things. But transcending that pain on an energetic level is important. Where is it when you say shame? And what is that attached to, or who? What happens when you use the word guilt? Where do you feel it in your body? And what's attached to it? Is it somebody that said something to you, or have you done something to somebody? When you have grief, we usually attach that to sorrow. Somebody passed, right? And maybe you didn't get to say goodbye. I used to work with a lot of clients asking, well, I never got to say goodbye, or I didn't make it there in time. But I can tell you, it's purposeful. Maybe your loved one didn't want you to see their last breath, and that's okay. Like my grandmother, she sent all her children home and then passed peacefully. She didn't want them to watch her last breath. Brilliant, right? And sometimes people want everybody there. It's what your loved one wants and their desires. It's not always that they have control, but sometimes we do. So grief is a tough one. Where is it? Sometimes we hold it in our stomach, in our heart, in our chest. We feel like we have chest pain, anxiety, panic attacks. So how do we get rid of that? How do we get rid of the grief back to heart center, transcending into celebration of one's life? Or shame? Shout it out until you get rid of it? Or there is breath work to do until you really literally cry and you can't do anything but figure out where it is. And you can locate it in the body. Timeline back to the pain and release it. Fear. There's a lot of fear in life. But what are you afraid of? Change? Moving forward? Releasing things that no longer serve? It lies somewhere in your body and it stays there. Or maybe it just stays there too long and you have physical ailments. It's true. Or maybe you've had to have surgery and you don't have those body parts anymore. You can still have phantom pain. Women can have that in their womb. if they had to have surgery or like an ovary removed. You have phantom pain there because you are grieving something within you, and it's okay to let that go. Transcend your pain and heal it. Love it, nurture it. Or is it childhood wounds in your womb that you're healing? And it's okay. A lot of us have had loss, grief, shame. I know I've worked with a lot of different women that have had miscarriages. They feel horrible, grief, shame, pain beyond, as if they've done something wrong. Maybe they've lost it on their own, and maybe they had to have a D&C, which might have been a good experience and might not. It's a difficult one, and I know, but you need to heal your womb, nurture it, love it. Hold a pillow there, warm blanket, whatever you need to do and grieve. And it's okay. Hopefully you have a partner that loves you and nurtures you and cares for you during this difficult time. They have no idea what happened, but you're missing something and you're grieving, right? So you can't tell somebody, to get over it. It takes time. It takes your body time to heal and nurture yourself. And make sure you're not judging yourself or saying it was your fault. Sometimes there's a bigger picture, right? And those little wounds need to be healed. And the spirit that was in there thanking you for hosting it. They came in for a reason. Maybe you needed to learn different things, and so did they. They chose you. It's special. Look at it as a gift and not a traumatic experience that you maybe were supposed to feel guilty for. Or maybe you did something wrong and that's why you feel guilty. Or maybe somebody even said to you, well, you didn't deserve it. That's why it was taken from you. That's the most awful thing you can ever say to a woman who's lost a child, that it wasn't healthy and it's your fault. Well, it isn't. Divine God, whoever you believe in, has a plan, and it's a gift. I remember a little taxi driver in Barbados said, "You're a gift in God's garden." I smiled, and he kind of looked at me, and I said, "I'm just grieving. I lost my grandmother or something." And come to think of it now, years later, I know what he meant now. Transformation and gift. Gift to yourself. Gift in God's garden, just like everybody's child is, right? Be the gift in your own garden and heal yourself so you can transcend that trauma, pain, shame, fear, and grief back to your heart center. Feel okay with where you are and release that. And celebrate the life for what it was and the gift that it gave you, something inside you growing and something outside you to celebrate, right? And it's okay. Love yourself enough to know that it wasn't your fault. There's a plan, and whatever that was, we may not understand, but it's a journey in life, the experiences that we have. Just like when you learn different things when you're younger. It's not like you want to touch the hot stove. You know it's hot. Don't touch it, and you do anyway. Well, what happens? Maybe that's something you needed to experience, or, good Lord, I hope you didn't get injured, right? Or, if you go to the doctor, you get a little sugar cube or dum-dum. Okay, they want to make sure that pain is taken away by something sugary. So what do we do in life? We do the same thing. We have a lot of sugar if we have a lot of pain, right? So where does this all come from? We've learned it, or we were told it's just the way it is. Well, we seek to understand different things at a higher level. Pain is not meant to be a punishment. It's an experience. It's a journey, just like grief. Yes, everybody's going to go through it one way or another, but you just have to learn how to have discernment of what that means to you and how long you should stay there. Whether you're in a relationship and what you can learn, whether it's a job, what you can learn, or what somebody told you. Is it really your pain, or is it projection of pain and what they're going through? Feel out what's yours, and why do you still carry their pain when it wasn't yours to begin with? Transcend that back to your heart and give yourself, the ability to release it. We carry a lot of other people's pain in our lives because we've witnessed it, or we have absorbed it, but it's not yours to keep. Thank your body for hosting it, and allowing it to stay so you could nurture it and now release it. A lot of people keep other people's pain in their body because they're afraid to let it go. Well, it's like something that doesn't fit anymore. Sometimes you have to let it go or give it away. But things that are more sacred, we hold in our sacred space. It's okay to release it. Let it go like a butterfly. It'll fly and you can see it, and then the tears will flow. Sometimes that's what you need to do to release it. Allow the tears to flow. For tears cleanse your soul, releasing it into the sunshine, the water, wherever it is. Transcend that back to your heart center and find balance within you. Love yourself and know that it was a journey. Just remember you matter and take care of you. I hope this helps today, and so it is. Namaste.